Hello guys, welcome to the next video tutorial on Android app development for beginners. In this video we will see how to use DatePickerDialog in Android. So let's get started. First of all, I'm going to take a button and I'm going to change the text of this button as show DatePickerDialog, and when I click this button the DatePickerDialog will appear and we will be able to select some date using this date time picker, and we can perform some action on the basis of this day selected. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Java folder, and inside my Java folder I'm going to go to my main activity.java, and in here I'm going to declare first of all object of button btn, and then I'm going to declare three variables, one for year, one for month, and one for the day of the month. So int year x, month x, month should be month like this, and the day underscore x. Okay, now one variable more I'm going to declare to hold the dialog ID of our dialog. Okay, so I'm going to declare a static final int dialog ID, and I'm going to initialize this dialog ID by 0. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go below a little bit and I'm going to declare a method which I will call inside my onCreate method. So this method will be a public method, public void, and I will name it as show dialog method. Okay, and inside my method first of all I'm going to cast my button. So button which I have declared above is equal to button find view by id r dot id dot button. Okay, now I'm going to take this button instance or object and I'm going to call set on click method. So btn dot set on click listener, and inside this we will call a new on click listener, and inside this on click method what we are going to do is we are going to call our show dialog, which is a inbuilt method in Android. So let's little bit change this method as show dialog on button click, so that we will not be confused by this method which I'm going to write right now. So show dialog, and this takes the ID of the dialog. So we have declared the dialog ID, it should be dialog ID. So I will just copy this dialog ID which we have declared and pass it here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I will create, or I will call on create dialog method, which is inbuilt method. So I'm just going to just copy this override protected void on create just like this, and just below I will go, paste this, and then on create dialog, and then inside this on create dialog I'm going to write my code, and I'm going to give one argument to this on create dialog which will be an integer id, and if this integer and this returns our dialog, right? So we have to return dialog here instead of void. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is if this id or in on create dialog is equal to the dialog ID which we have defined, then I'm going to return a new dialog. Okay, so new which dialog? I'm going to return a new date picker dialog. Okay, so date picker dialog, and it takes few arguments, and let's do alt enter so that it can fix our imports. And it takes few arguments. First is the context, second is the date picker listener, or date picker, yeah, you can say listener, and we are going to define our date picker listener later. Let's give the name to this date picker listener as D picker listener, for example. Okay, and then the other argument it takes is year, and then the month, and then the day. Okay, and if this ID doesn't match our dialog ID, I'm going to return null. Okay, so if the ID doesn't matches, I'm going to return a null. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is, here I'm going to declare this variable which is our date picker listener variable. Okay, so I'm going to declare a private member, private date picker dialog dot on date set listener, and then this will be our date set listener is equal to new on date set listener, and it's going to automatically create this method for us when we press enter key, and just don't remember to close this variable here by semicolon. And inside this you can see I can see year. It in the on date set method, arguments are year, month of the year, and date of the month or day of the month. Okay, so what I can do is I can assign, so I've declared three variables, year x, month x, and day x, right? So I can use I can assign the value of year x is equal to this year, which is taken by this date picker dialog, right? In the same way, I'm going to take the value of month x is equal to month of year, and I'm going to take the value of day x is equal to day of the month. Okay, and now what I can do is I can display this year, month, and day using a toast or something other like text box or edit text or something like this, right? I'm going to choose toast, so I'm going to take this toast dot make text, and it takes first argument as the class context or context of this class itself. So main activity dot this, and the second argument is the text itself, so I can pass year first plus and then slash, then month, and then plus slash once again, and then plus day x. So it's going to show me the date, comma, the third argument toast dot length short duration dot show. Okay, now what I can do is I can call this show dialog on button click method. So just copy this show dialog which we have created, just copy this method and call it inside your onCreate method here. Okay, and that's it. Our code is done, so we can run it. I'm going to run my program. So my program is running now, and I can see this button, and when I click this button I will be able to see the date. But the date here, whenever you select the date, it will not be the current date because we haven't set any date to our date picker dialog. Okay, so what we can do is we can set date to our date picker dialog, which is the current date, by using calendar class. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my code here, and remember I have declared year, month and day variables, right? And if somehow I can pass the current date to these three variables, I will be able to see the current date in my date picker dialog. Okay, so what you can do is you can go inside your onCreate method, and in here you can create an instance of calendar. Final calendar cal is equal to calendar dot get instance, and then I can use this cal to get the current year, month and day. Okay, so I'm going to take the year is equal to cal dot get, and inside this I can take cal, and I will go back. I will take calendar, this one, dot year. It's going to give me year, and then in the same way I can pass month also. So cal dot get and cal dot month, not March but dot month, and the third variable is day of the month. So day is equal to, and I'm going to just copy this, and this should be dot day of month. Okay, in addition you need to do one more little thing here. Whenever you print your date using your toast, you can get this month, but by default month starts from 0 here. Okay, so what you can do is you can add a 1 to your month here, and it will give you the correct month. Okay, and now I'm going to run my program, and my program is once again running. So I'm going to click this, and you can see the current date and the year and the month is showing here. Today is 25th of March 2015, and I can see and I can verify this date, and then when I click OK, I will be able to see this month, date and year here. Okay, so in this way you can use DatePickerDialog in your Android app. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and bye.